Brent, good to see you. Really big Social Security news. Millions of public workers are set to get an increase in their benefits. A new bill called the Social Security Fairness Act was just signed to law and will increase payments for nearly 3 million current and former public employees. So what exactly is changing, and how much more can these workers expect to see in their benefit?
So this is some of the better legislation we've seen come out recently. And long story short, there's a lot of people out there who worked and contributed to Social Security, got their 10 quarters in, and would be eligible for benefits. They then went on to work for the public sector. Okay, think like state workers, federal workers, and they qualify for a public pension. So prior to 1/1 of 24, you would receive a penalty for having a public pension and Social Security. And there's a lot of people out there. Governments employ a lot of workers. So people were losing out on big bucks simply because they had that public pension. They came in and they changed that where they are removing those penalties. So a lot of people are going to see their amounts increase on a monthly basis if they have both and qualify.
And those increases can be significant.
So across my client base, I've estimated roughly $500 to $600 for several of my clients, but I have heard some as much as $1,000 a month.
Wow.
So this is big bucks we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So what if someone has already filed for those Social Security benefits? What steps should they take?
So one thing they want to do is they're going to go to ssa.gov and they're going to make sure the history looks correct. All right. Are all your earnings in there? Does everything look right? If anything's missing, you would reach out to them and say, hey, this year I was working at this place. I need to get that updated. But the good news is this should be automatic. Okay. So they passed the legislation in late 2024, but they have retroed it back to 1/1/24.
Okay.
So anybody who is already filing and taking Social Security and their pension, they should get a bump, a big one-time lump sum for all of 2024. And then moving forward, they should fix it, drop off that penalty, and they should see their Social Security increase.
Okay.
So anybody new filing should just not have that penalty to start with. It's not going to go back to 1/1/24 because they weren't filing, but they shouldn't have to deal with that penalty moving forward. It is
Right.
great news.
And it's the same advice then for somebody who hasn't filed yet?
Correct. So when they file, it's going to all be taken care of. They don't have to make any changes. They don't have to let people know. It should all be automatic in the system. The thing is, it is the federal government we're talking about. So people say, Brent, when? That's a good question. I know it's happening, but I cannot speak to exactly when they will see these increases.
Right. Should this change affect their overall claiming strategy?
Yes. So it's actually brought up a lot of conversations with current clients because it needs to be reviewed again. You can trigger Social Security as early as 62 and as late as age 70. And that is going to have an impact on how much your benefit is. So this is part of the income plan for us, which is one of the 5 worlds of retirement. When are we going to trigger Social Security? How much is that going to be? I'll tell you, for most of my clients, we're still going to trigger about the similar time we were going to. It's just added great news, but that all needs to be reviewed and discussed.
So if more people are going to see an increase in benefits, shouldn't we be concerned about the program's solvency?
So long story short, yes. Okay. That's a lot of money that is now going to put additional strain on the Social Security system, but it was already in, some trouble before this. So when I get that question a lot, Brent, is Social Security even going to exist? And in my opinion, it will always exist, possibly in a different form, but most likely in the same or similar form. That is because nothing gets a politician kicked out of office quicker than messing with Social Security. So most of the people I meet with have, they've saved very well. And so we're going to have other sources. I tell them there are millions of Americans who are living on just Social Security. There would be a ton of people who couldn't pay rent if the system were to be changed. So what's important for current clients and people we're meeting with is we don't want to just depend on Social Security. Okay, that's a source. I think it's going to be there. I sleep fine at night knowing I think it's going to be there. But we should have other things in place and then discuss what would happen if they do reduce benefits or something like that.
Yeah, you need those multiple streams of income so that you're not stressing out about Social Security. Good point. So Brent, if somebody would like to talk to you more about their own personal claiming strategy or how they may be affected by this, how can they reach you?
Yep. young-wm.com is our website. You can make an inquiry there. Or you can call the office at 614-430-8383. We would love to talk about it.
Great. Brent, thank you.
Thank you.